welcome back to my channel. I'm Liam. Round 16, 21, 25, 18,000 round rank, moved out 900 spots. It was not the best week for me. There was a few massive scorers, and I just only Merritt and Hall the only two that I could have. I had my team this week: Miller, Parrish, Steele, Wines. Absolutely monsters. I probably missed a couple as well. It's hard to keep up with when players like them are on fire. Dangerfield, that's another one I've missed. It was a solid week. A few underperforming premiums. Matty Flynn, very disappointing. And plus my team's probably won about one or two premiums short of most of the teams in my rank area. But there was a few positives to talk about. Taranto, very solid 115 that I took as VC. Actually made 21 points because McRae only got to 94. And Merritt, 143, was outstanding against Geelong. I just didn't think he was going to go that large, but you just take it and run. But let's start in defence. Whitfield 85, disappointing a little bit, especially when Mills is going 115 at D1. But he was very good last week. But it's just disappointing. 85 isn't probably 15, 20 short than what we want. Short, even more disappointing, 65. Can cut him a bit of slack. He did have a few good weeks in a row, but Richmond looked terrible on Thursday night. And even the ball down there a fair bit. Short still couldn't get his hands on the ball. Not taking as many kick-outs anymore. It's a bit concerning. But Hooley is now out for the season, so that could benefit him for the rest of the year. Tommy Stewart, 110, very nice. Made up for his 50 from last week. These defenders are very up and down as of late, but what can you do? Harms, 86. Doesn't have the role anymore, but he's actually had a couple good weeks to get to 86, playing a half forward midfield role. More forward now, but he can't get triple DPP, unfortunately. I ideally want to get rid of him by the end of the season, but I've got so many more problems that he's actually doing a solid job with regards to my team. Ridley, as I say, I chose him over Mills back in round 3, and it's just terrible. 74 isn't good enough. What can you do? You just have to ride him out. Hopefully you can get rid of him and move Laird up to defence. But along with Ridley, Haynes had a disappointing game. He had two pretty decent games. And Price bought him at 500, so you can't expect heaps, but a little disappointing. Oh well, it's just one of those years. Nothing's really going right. Highmore, 42. I can probably get rid of him this week to fund some cash. Bianco, very solid, 68. Again, handy cash making, which has been a bit bad for most of the year. Being able to upgrade to stars and not bring in those Haynes who you're just cutting 200k and probably costing you 30 points a week, but with no cash generation, it's what you have to do. McRae, 94. It was playing alright. North had just kept a lot of control of the ball. North had like 500s, but so he couldn't keep his hundreds streak going. But he's in most teams. Disappointing if you did captain him though. He was fairly popular along with Bontempelli. He just scraped 100 as well. But a lot of his pro had VC on Miller Parish still, which would you didn't need to rely on him anyway. Taranto, as I said, 115, very solid. Tommy Mitchell, in a tough game, got to 108. You take that against a stiff opponent. Talked about Merritt before. Amazing. Rory Laird keeps going along his ways, but everyone has him, so his score is pretty irrelevant, but bumping up piles each week. Good on him. Brad Crouch just couldn't do his hot 25 points in the last 2 minutes like last week. He actually got like 15 in the last 2 minutes this week as well. Saved his 60 to get to 80. Just gave away a few too many free kicks. Just wasn't tackling as much as the weeks prior bringing him in. Oh well. What can you do? I didn't have much. Again, cash generation stopped me from going to one of those top guys and extra 50 points. But what can you do? The Cluggage, a little disappointing, especially with Neil now out. I thought he would do a little better than 74. He was only on 20 odd at the half, so he did get 50 in the second half. But again, I'm losing 50 points. That's 100 points lost there. So yeah, Sharp, handy captain loophole, and Sharp was pretty. The Sharps was a handy loophole. 62, you take that from a rookie. Newcomb 57, pretty solid. Hopefully he can make it another 100k. Gordon 96. No Ruckman really got going this round. Darcy got to 115, but yeah, he's in most sides. Doesn't overly influence. He is a fairly popular captain option, so technically I made 20 points on that. But what can you? Gord, Grundy, Darcy, pretty popular option, but hopefully you'll have got rid of Flynn. I have not been able to get rid of him. Absolutely played an absolute howler. 20 points. I don't like his role with Mumford in the team. Them winning means Mumford will stay. He has to go. The only problem is I don't know who to. Possibly to if I can get to Darcy, I'll try to. But yeah, pretty disappointing. 20, and that's again costing me another 70 points from if you had a Grundy, Darcy, Nat Nui. Well. Oh well. This is my worst year in so long. It's the first year I've done YouTube as well, so jinxing myself. Hopefully next year I can reap some rewards and just say this is an off year. Kelly, Hall, Zeeble, hundreds, very nice. Hall is just, he's a pig back there, kicking out from full back, cheap kicks in the back pocket, running off half back, all round game, all round one of the best fantasy roles ever. Lovely. Cole Langford disappointing, 65. Just couldn't get into the game, but he's had a few good weeks, so again cut him some slack. Heaney got 40 points in the last quarter to save himself. It was rage trade after the first 3 quarters, but he kicked a couple of goals, had a fair few marks in that last term, saved his score, and bring in Jakey Stringer. Who would have thought he would be a limelight in my team this year? Actually lost 12 points by going him over to Goey. But so far turning out to be decent picks. Who knows, both of them get 50 next week and injured, and we're licking our wounds. But good starts. Good. Actually trained alright, bringing Sharp Stringer. Pretty happy with that. But the rest of the team is just not firing at this very moment. But I'll be back on Tuesday with my trade talk. Hopefully I can benefit some of you who are much higher up than me for the rest of the season.